South Korea versus Japan. You're talking about a duel of the century, and I'm not just saying that because I'm excited, though I am extremely excited, and you should too in the audience, in the chat. Let's get some love, because this is going to be absolutely insane.
It is great to see these players. One of them is absolutely going to advance to the finals later on this year. They're playing for their share of $1 million, and we're watching PSH up first. What does PSH stand for, Klaus?
I have no idea. Do you? You don't?
No, I don't. I unfortunately don't, but it could mean, I don't know, what Renee's got an idea here. Pretty strong hitter? That's possible.
Pretty strong?
I think he's more than pretty strong, though.
No, definitely
not.
not.
In right here.
Renee, that was definitely not it.
37 minors.
Wow, so PSH getting it done, starting off his attack right now. He's got minors. You gotta love the minors. They're consistent. They can get on. All you need to do, all you need to know, and this is the words of Itsu, for using minors is the funnel. It's all about the funnel, and with an Electron starting this off, he's able to get a few defenses and key things down, but he doesn't get the CC or the Eagle or the Queen.
At the top of the screen, you see that defensive Clan Castle Dragon. That is critical. Got to get that out of the way. We saw that earlier today, as any sort of air troop like that, Dragon, Baby Dragon, will devastate a Miner or a Hog Rider attack. So that was an important move right there. PSH using a Baby Dragon to get that Dragon out of the way, and now the heroes coming in from the bottom.
So you can see that geometrically, and that means shape-wise, this is now a very nice little little crescent, if you will. You start the miners on the right-hand side, because clearly we want to make sure we get that Town Hall, and then they're going to be able to stay pretty close together all the way through this base.
Yep, the Archer Queen is going to assist there from the bottom. The Barb King is down. Defensive Archer Queen is still active, as is the Eagle Artillery. That's going to be a problem. There goes your Town Hall. Miners duck under it and move on. The Warden has used his ability, though, and the Miners, they've got just one heal spell left after this one. But notice they're kind of being funneled into this, where just about every Miner should get some healing right here.
That's good. We need that. We want as many healing points onto those miners as possible. Queen helps out with a bit of a funnel, so now look at the little corridor that the miners have to go through. They're going to go basically all of them through the Eagle Artillery. One or two go toward the altars. This is looking beautiful right now. I think he missed a heal a little bit when that Queen was doing her deed over there in the middle.
Beautiful move right there. There's another giant bomb that went off, and the heal went down just in time to save those miners. They did get distracted by the workshop a little bit earlier. That unfortunately caused the heal spell to expire before they returned to it, and that could have been the turning point right there, because we've got no miners left. 72% damage, though, so a solid attack from PSH to start things off for Vatang.
73% 2-star, and I'm looking to see what we're waiting on right now. I think it's just the poison spell. Poison spell does damage, and so generally the attack doesn't end until that poison spell dissipates. So PSH locking in a 73% 2-star for his clan. He got a 71% earlier, and he's 3-star twice in the round robin. So you can see that I think that the base designs of the finals are really starting to confound him, because he's not pulling off those triples that we're used to.
And it's tough right there. You saw that he used the Warden ability, which wasn't really needed as the Town Hall went down. Remember, if there's not, say, a defending King or skeleton traps that are right next to that, or skeletons, rather, that are right next to the Town Hall as the miners take it down, they will always duck and avoid the damage from the Gigabomb.
Takana, a 99% attack earlier today. You have to believe that he is looking to get that solid 3-star, solidify the win for his clan if he's able to do the very best that he can. He's the first attacker for his clan. Let's see what he's able to pull off here with this Lalo attack.
Yep, coming in at the top, starting to clear things out. Remember, this is best 2 out of 3 that determines who advances to the finals later on this year to face teams like Queso and Tribe Gaming. Right now, GS focused on that prize, trying to defeat Vatang, and this is truly, after all of the battles we've seen this weekend, a battle of the Titans.
That's almost an understatement, but I get what you mean, Galadon. I mean, this has really been a treat to watch. I've had so much fun so far, and we're just getting started. The finals match of the May qualifier right now. I mean, these are the best 2 clans of the month going head-to-head in some best 2 out of 3 action.
Yep, so the Queen and the King moving in here without healers. Again, watch for the Lalo portion to start shortly, but now you've got that Queen. She's triggered the Town Hall, or she's triggered the Clan Castle, rather. This time it's 2 balloons with that Lava Hound. So taking notes, seeing different defensive CCs, this time 2 loons.
Those 2 loons are going to be a problem. They take out the queen, and with no poison spell remaining, he's going to have to drop a minion or 2 to take those balloons out. Fortunately, though, those balloons cannot target the attacking balloons or the hound, so, you know, maybe they're just not a big issue at all. Right now, that Lalo being deployed right now to swing in and take out this Town Hall for that 2-star.
Yeah, there was a freeze followed immediately by the earthquake, so the balloons, everybody's going to get in there. There's your Warden abilities. The Town Hall goes down. And again, you're right, this CC was more designed for either miners or hogs, a ground style attack, maybe the bowlers and P.E.K.K.A.s from one of those style attacks, P.E.K.K.A. Bow Bat or P.E.K.K.A. Smash.
Yeah, the P.E.K.K.A. Smash has been all over the place.
So long since we've seen one that I've forgotten the name. We're seeing so many different attacks today.
And that's so cool. It's so cool to see that Clash of Clans is in such a great state right now that we can see such a variety of attacks. And look at this perfect placement.
Balloons, they've got to get in after this Eagle Artillery. Oh, the Tornado Trap's going to stall them on that Inferno Tower. They got it down, but now they need to get to that Eagle Artillery. 40 seconds left. Lots of hit points out on the field, though. Is it going to happen? You've got an Archer Tower. Here they come with a haste spell after the Archer Tower. Skeletons giving chase. They're going to get that last defense down 90%. 30 seconds left, though, Klaus.
Oh,
I hear a pause, but can they do it? There's a lot of structures remaining at 23%. That is Vatang celebrating right now because they know there's no way that last Archer Tower held off the assault, and what looked like it could have been a 3-star is going to end just shy.
Wow, it came down to just a few hit points on that Archer Tower. It's reminiscent of the very first match we saw today where one defense held off the attack that could have won it for the opposing team, or for the attacking team. So unfortunately, Takana only gets the 93% 2-star, but, you know, right now they're ahead.
Definitely solid attacks from both teams for the start into our big finally, and Lunatic from Takana, basically, bringing on all the loons as much as possible. 92%, so close to the 3-stars, but I think you really need to hit 3s if you want to win here in the big fight.
They're certainly expecting it. We've been expecting it. These are clans that have all put up multiple 3-star attacks in their wars. Huge percentages overall. Like Klaus pointed out earlier, the overall damage percentage from GS leading up to this final war is 83% and Vatang 86%. But right now, you'll see from the score on the right-hand side of the screen, Vatang at a slight disadvantage in overall percentage.
You mentioned that the overall attacking total destruction for these clans, with Vatang having the advantage, but GS has a better defensive statistic. There you go. So right now, we're seeing, I think, another offense versus defense situation where Vatang has shown superior offense in most cases, and GS has superior defense.
Oh, that is great to see, and it just, again, it shows us how important both are. You can't just rely on your attacking skills. You need to be able to put those bases together that stop the opponent, because preventing the 3 is just as important as trying to grab that 3 for your clan. And now Young Hun from Vatang trying to do it right here, and he's got 37 miners, often referred to now as mass miner, because there is no Queen Walk or Queen Charge is going to happen.
That's right. With the heroes, we're going to be seeing a funnel being established. So one side or the other, and then they're going to just collide down onto that town hall. In this case, he held on to his heroes. He was able to get it done with some troops. The space is very widespread. So with those heroes actually backing up from the bottom side to potentially keep the miners busy and focused on that Inferno. But that town hall is about to go down, and that climb castle, it's only a lava hound. No problem for the miners.
That was like he knew what was going to come out of that town hall. He didn't have to worry to see like a baby dragon or a dragon or 2 come out there. You can see the poison spell working in the center of the lava hound, trying to chase those miners down. The miners working their way through, and the healers, that Archer Queen at the bottom still has her ability, and the Warden still has his.
An unfortunate split, though. The miners going down to the bottom. They're going to still work on the multi-inferno, but a lot of miners avoided that Eagle Artillery in the core, and that is absolutely crucial. Fortunately, he had his Grand Warden's ability to keep the few alive in the middle to take out that Eagle Artillery. So now a very high percentage 2-star is in the books, and potentially a 3, though there's a lot of base left, and no more heal spells.
Great free spell, though, used in the middle that was on both of those Expos. Unfortunately, the miners not quite able to get the other Expo down, so we're at about 2/3 of this base being wiped out, but far from the 3-star once again. Younghun now just looking for percentage, because it's possible with these innovative and unusual bases that we're going to see it come down to a battle of percentage. You know that neither clan wants to let that happen. Both of these guys, the clans themselves, want at least one player to drop the triple.
Absolutely. With the 73% and moving forward attack right now, there's a lot, too much for the miners, but the percentage is still adding up very nicely. We're going to see potentially an 80% attack here, hopefully, and it looks like, nope, just falling just short. But so 79% 2-star for Younghun. That is respectable and should help his clan move forward.
Yep, Younghun, the second attacker of the day here for Vatang. Remember, this is the final matchup between Vatang and GS, the Pride of South Korea facing the Pride of Japan. Only one team can advance to the finals later on this year, to the championship. And again, this is 2 out of 3. So whoever wins this war is going to have to come back and win another war, Klaus, in order to advance.
And little history lesson, the 2 previous qualifiers, both of the winners actually lost one of the matches, and it went down to the 3rd and final match. So if somebody's able to sweep it today, they'll be making history as the first clan to do so moving into the World Championships later this year.
And it would honestly be a surprise. As close as these matches are, to see a clan sweep 2-0 would be a shocker. Right now, it's anybody's game. GS's only attack was a 93% 2-star, so Watto absolutely hoping to improve on that, to grab those extra 7 buildings and grab the first 3-star.
And again, Watto, the only player in GS to not show us a 3-star today. So if he's able to get it done, yeah, if he's able to get it done, Galadon, then he will have a huge victory on his hands.
All right, so the Queen moving in here with her healers. You see the funnel complete at the bottom. There's a camp still left, but she's not going to worry about that. She's moving off towards the left. Pretty traditional P.E.K.K.A smash. We were just talking about how we hadn't seen it in a while. Notice the lone archer down there. Her job to clear out that camp and make sure that funnel is complete.
And with the Queen having to use her special ability, her Royal Cloak, to take out the enemy Queen, that's unfortunate. He had both a rage and an ability, but that was a very dense section of the base. So it's a good thing he kept the Queen alive, because without that, without the Queen hammering out how much DPS per hit, it's like 1.5 million or something. She's so powerful at level 60.
It's a lot, and here they come, moving in towards the core. That jump spell perfectly placed to allow units access into that little alleyway, that dead zone behind the Town Hall after the Town Hall goes down. Inferno Tower burning away on the healers at the bottom as well, and now here comes your Stone Slammer. Its goal to get that bottom Inferno Tower out of the way.
And there we go with the entry, all of the troops guiding into this base with the funnel. Beautifully done for Watto. Unfortunately, that Stone Slammer runs into that tornado traps. That's going to be a bit of an issue, because right now that multi-inferno just burning to death all kinds of troops, including healers. Fortunately, it is now down, and this Queen, she just not interested in taking that jump spell. She's stuck on a wall. That's going to hurt him.
Yep, she has gone towards that closest building, which has now been wiped out by the balloons as they continue their way out the right-hand side of this base. Haste spell's going to move them on, and Watto's got one more haste spell. Got to worry about these wizard towers. Look at all of the air defenses up here, Klaus.
The Queen actually redirects, so that's good. She's about to enter that little compartment with the 2 giant bomb death spots. But you're right, with all those air defenses still left, these balloons are going to struggle to continue to advance and take out this base. Unfortunately, this Queen doesn't even have her ability anymore, so that's kind of a problem, as she's still dealing with the beams from a multi-targeting Inferno.
And given enough time, could this have wrapped up as a 3-star? Look at this huge group of P.E.K.K.A s down here on the far right-hand side. They can melt through even maxed walls when you have groups like that, but we're running out of time quickly, even though there's 6 minions remaining to be deployed. Watto holding on to those until the very last second, trying to let these P.E.K.K.A s get in here to take out some of these defenses. Now the balloons and minions come in, and it looks like we could cross 90%, 89, time running out, and it's going to be 89% for Watto of GS.
P.E.K.K.A Smash being successful for GS, making sure that they're still in the lead after 2 attacks from each side. But Vatang definitely not willing at all to give this away easily. And once again, it's a best of 3. Means whoever loses this, they have a chance for a comeback right after.
Yep, that tornado trap, that was a tough call right there, Klaus, as it moved in and took the Slammer away from the Inferno Tower. That was a big change in that attack.
You know, GS with a total destruction advantage is actually pretty high. They've got about a 91% total destruction average, as opposed to Vatang, who's roughly at about 75. So, and those are big numbers. So GS has a definite advantage right now. They're getting closer to the 3 stars by far than Vatang is. So we have ourselves a competition
well, I'll
right
tell you
here.
what, Klaus, I'm going to call it right here. Caldron, 3 stars. It's about to happen.
It's reasonable.
Okay.
He's done it before.
Caldron has put up 2 triples earlier this weekend. They're significantly down by percentage. 6% is a big gap to make up, so you know they are aiming at this 3-star. I predict it right here. Caldron from Vatang, ready to drop every single building in this base.
He's going to be trying to pull a raise and wipe out all the buildings in this base right now, raising the base down with the Grand Warden and a few troops on the left, creating a funnel that E-Drag actually runs into the Tesla farm. That's huge, because now he knows that it's there. Catching a Tesla farm at the end of an attack is almost a death sentence to the attack, but finding it at the beginning, you can handle that, generally.
Yep, those loons with a haste spell took out a lot of buildings right there. You can see 18% already. The heroes, the bowlers moving into the funnel. Coming in here, they're headed towards that town hall. Watch for the wall breakers. One exploratory wall breaker. Here come the rest. They're underage. You can't really see them. There's the warden ability to make sure they get through. And now they're in, and they're going to wipe out that town hall. Simultaneously, you've got the eagle firing and the defensive clan castle coming in.
Wow, so with the wall breakers actually under the Eternal Tome, yes, they can still break walls and die, even under the Eternal Tome ability, in case anybody wanted some Mythbusters in this game right now. With the wall breaker actually breaking into 2 different sections of the base. That town hall goes down, and now the Lalo section portion of the attack is coming in.
Yep, 1/3 of this base down, and the Archer Queen is working on the air defense. She gets the air defense down. That was a critical move right there. The air defense is out of the way. In comes the Stone Slammer. Balloons on the left-hand side of this base. We're nearing 50% damage. Just 1 heal spell and 2 hastes remain.
You know, it's a semi-circular base design, so he just came straight in with all of his troops but 4. He's got 2 more haste spells to deal some damage on there, help his balloons do some damage as well. They fall in on that Eagle artillery, but is there enough to go through the backside of this base? That's always the question.
Seeking air mines all over the place. Balloons trying to move in and get that Expo down. More mines. The last Inferno Tower is going to be a big problem, Klaus. There's no spells left, and 2 Wizard Towers also. So, unfortunately, Caldron getting close, but there's just too much at the top right of this base.
Caldron getting that clutch 3-star earlier to obtain the win for his clan, and now, unfortunately, falling just short with an 82% 2-star. That pup over there gets that 83. Small victories, buddy. Good job. We're proud of you, but goes down. Just
barely grabs 83% 2-star, just as I predicted. A vast improvement right there over earlier, and a solid number for Vatang as they look to close the gap in percentage behind GS.
And that's what we need to see. If we're not going to see any 3-stars, which I don't know about you, Galadon, but I'm not happy with that. I want 3 stars. But
absolutely,
if that's going to be the case, we need big total destruction. We need to have close to 99% so we can figure out who's actually the winner of this war.
Well, Earth clowning for the camera right there. Here is another 3-star machine from Japan. Earth, we've seen him before here in Poland. He's bringing P.E.K.K.A. Smash, and he is ready. He's already tripled twice this weekend. He's certainly looking for his 3rd 3-star attack, and it's going to be against PSH from Vatang.
I love just the variety of different troops around cleaning up the free buildings, and this is something that's overlooked by so many players, including myself in some cases. I get in a hurry, I don't want to look at the small details, but this can make the difference between a war. Just sneaking in a free building with a single troop like the Archer, or a minion if there maybe just be a cannon around it.
Exactly, and look at this farm of Expos. 4 Expos are all right within proximity of each other and that clan castle. So certainly an unusual base setup, a high concentration of point defense right there at the top of the base. The Archer Queen right now looks like she's headed towards the bottom, where we'll see the entry of the P.E.K.K.A. Smash.
Gonna have some P.E.K.K.A. Smash action like Galadon just said, and it's gonna be a good time because it looks like with the funnel being set up very nicely on the left-hand side, and now the King and a Baby Dragon in charge of the funnel on the right. Hopefully we can keep some things focused and get the whole P.E.K.K.A. Smash in on that Town Hall. Oh,
we lost the wall breakers trying to get into that wall. Klaus, not completely devastating because he does indeed have 2 jump spells, but he certainly wanted those wall breakers to get through that outer wall right there. And there's another hole in the wall that is from a different spot, and now the Town Hall goes down, but the unit's going to move off to the right, and this base design causing almost everybody to head out to the right instead of into the core.
Wow, so I was just praising his funnel, but unfortunately it wasn't quick enough to make the adjustment, and he was waiting on his P.E.K.K.A. actually to get through that wall. They did, but not fast enough. Timing is huge in this game, so unfortunately most of his troops actually roam around the outside. He does get the enemy queen down, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get that Eagle artillery down.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of troops actually redirected, but look at those Expos just annihilating everything in front of them right there. So much damage rolling in at once, and the Eagle is still up now. In comes the Stone Slimer, less than a minute left. There is another jump spell. The Queen just barely surviving. Look at all of those Expos, and that is going to spell doom for the Archer Queen in just a moment here. The healers, no way they can keep up with that.
Wow, so one thing I noticed was when he saw that giant bomb pop up and the Queen approaching, he knew that for a split second, those healers would not be with his Queen, and he had to use his Queen's special ability. That is really paying attention to the small detail, making sure his Queen stays alive, but as you can see, still remaining is a jump spell, so that could have, in a different universe, he could have brought 2 more hate spells or something and got a little bit more. Unfortunately, things just did not go his way in this attack, but the total destruction being at 80% and higher is still pretty good moving in.
It is great. He's got is that a swag jump right there as he closes over 83% time, just about to run out, trying to grab a couple more structures. Remember, we're looking at percentage points, determining things. Great jump spell for the Wizard right there, making absolutely no difference at all.
Damage percentage was on sale in this attack round. Both teams above 80%, and this was the closest Vatang was ever to actually win a single attack round with 83% on their side. But Earth managed to get 84, still making sure that GS keeps the lead.
Yeah, they've got a significant lead on percentage right here. The GS attacks 84, 89, 93. The Vatang attacks 73, 79, and 83. And now it looks like Lanzlada is up next to try to improve for Vatang. We're getting down to it here, Klaus. Remember, it's best 2 out of 3, but I hate to use the M word again, but momentum is absolutely going to be in the hands of the winner of this first best of 3.
Absolutely. I mean, there's never a chance for a mistake in a 2 out of 3. But if you win this, then if something goes wrong, you still have another chance. But the opposing team who lost, if they mess it up and lose again, it's over. They only have 1 chance left.
34 Hog Riders, so this is a little bit more of a traditional Queen Walk, Queen Charge Hog Rider, and we're seeing a few Hogs come in early right here to try to help out with the funnel. Remember, when you're funneling an Archer Queen, you have to worry about more than just the outside buildings. You have to worry about that next set of buildings inside, and that was a great move with those Hogs to take that air defense out and absolutely ensure the Queen moves downward instead of up.
That's right. It also lured that Clan Castle, so now the Queen can handle it as soon as possible, which is amazing for him going forward. Unfortunately, that wall record does die out, does not make it to that Town Hall. Fortunately, though, he's got Hogs, and if he gets enough percentage and triggers that Giga Tesla, then the Hogs will indeed target that Town Hall.
Well, that's going to be a critical difference right here, Klaus, because we're only at 29%. Barb King is long gone. He was up at 12 o'clock. There's a rage spell for your Archer Queen, so it looks like the Archer Queen should work on a wall here shortly. She's going to have to face off with the defending Archer Queen, the Clan Castle. The defending Archer Queen firing on her just goes down. Now the Clan Castle. Now watch after this Archer Tower where she goes. She's going to go back outside. That is not what Lanzlada wanted. He wanted her to target the wall and head after the Town Hall. 37% damage, Klaus. We're a long ways from that Town Hall being activated.
That's right, and without an Earthquake spell or anything, this is not a good position to be in. He has a lot of time wasted right now, just trying to get to 50% so he can deploy his Hogs right at that Town Hall. What would have changed all that is, like you said, if she had decided to just break through the wall instead of turn tail and run over outside of the base, then this would have went very, very differently indeed, but unfortunately, that's not how it turned out.
And now, Lanzlada has had to wait until we're down to the final minute of this attack. Finally, he crosses 50%, and there he sends in the Hogs because, again, critically, a safe 2-star is absolutely what they have to aim for right here. The free spell, the Warden's ability, the Hog Riders, no problem. There's your 2nd star, and they're going to move on, but they don't have much time left.
Wow, so with only 50 seconds left in this attack, Remember that Lancelot was, unfortunately, ended up with only 57% of previous attacks, so he's already bested that, but he was one of the weaker attackers for Vatang. So let's see if he's able to best that and potentially pull out a 3-star, even though time really does look like it's going to be a problem here.
30 seconds left. The final Hogs getting deployed. A couple of cleanup wizards as well. They take out that mortar, going to move in, but no sense, no need for them to rejoin their fellow brethren because there are no heal spells left to benefit from. Final 20 seconds, and I have to say it's a great save from Lancelot. I mean, that did definitely not go as planned, and to be able to, after things went wrong early, still come back and grab what looks like nearly 90% in this attack, that shows the true sign of a pro attacker.
Exactly. I mean, that patience is key, and that patience is one of the hardest parts to master as a Clash of Clans player. So Lancelot securing a 91% 2-star first clan, really helping out in bringing his clan back up to potentially be able to continue competing.
That was a huge boost in overall percentage right there. 91%, again, by far their best attack in this war so far. So we'll see. GS has yet to answer. They have 2 players yet to attack who have both 3-starred earlier this weekend, both Stadra right there and Aaron CPB ready to go and bring the triple.
Again, GS ahead by total destruction. That 91% just now by Lancelot definitely helped, but still GS has the advantage here. Like for instance, if GS 3-stars and they end up with 73.2%, while Vatang's at 65.2. So things are looking still pretty good for GS, and let's see if they're able to pull off this 3-star here and really secure it.
Again, we've seen Stadra triple earlier. You see the wall breaker right there. I love the wall breaker use by these attackers. It is such a risky move for the most of us. These days, people get lazy. They use 4 earthquakes, they use a jump spell, they use air troops, they use miners or hog riders. These guys not afraid to use the wall breakers and professionally deploy them as well, dropping in free spells where needed or just troops that distract the defenses in the area and make sure the wall breakers get the job done.
Heads up, dude, this professional wall breaker guy just got through 2 walls. So you're absolutely right, you called it. These guys, and what they're doing, they're trying to get into the walls as cheaply as possible. They don't want to waste 2 spells with a jump spell or 4 with the earthquakes. It's all about getting it as cheaply as possible to be efficient.
And check out this jump spell. No, where's the Archer Queen going? She's going to the outside. Come on, Archer Queen, there's a jump spell right there. She had likely already decided that the camp was her next target, and you could hear the moan from GS as she's gone outside. And I was just about to talk about how brilliant that jump spell placement was, but that's only half the battle. What's the other half of the battle, Klaus? Timing. That jump spell coming maybe just a second too late, despite the fact that it spans 6 different compartments. It was dropped a split second too late. The Archer Queen had already made up her mind. She was headed towards that camp, and she's not going to come back.
Very unfortunate for that queen. She's not going to get the eagle, but she still could potentially, with her ability, snag the enemy queen, and that's still huge with this Lalo attack, but it's unfortunate that that eagle is still up.
Yeah, the enemy queen goes down, so that's a big one, but unfortunately, here comes your Eagle Artillery, going to absolutely pulverize these units as they move in at the bottom of your screen. And now, remember, 42%. The Town Hall is just a storage right now. It's not a defense. It stores loot. Remember, though, if you're attacking, you're farming, you don't get that loot out of the Town Hall until it's destroyed. Here it goes. Now it's been activated and been frozen, and there it goes. There's your first star, followed immediately by the second star for 50%.
Gotta love it. So that's what they needed. They continue putting up these 2 stars and high percentages, and the way this war is going with elite defense, elite-based building, and then the best attacks that we can possibly hope for, I believe, on these bases. If they continue going the way they are, they're in a good position. I just really wish that queen would have went the direction that we had intended.
Oh, that was so painful to watch. That's such a pretty jump spell right there. Spell timing and placement, truly critical. And these bases, again, no doubt players have never seen bases like this before, and they don't have a lot of time to examine them, to break them down, to decipher what the weakness could be. This is still a brilliant attack. Time running out, though. Stadra, 82%, another really high percentage from GS. Every single attack. That actually, at 82, is the lowest percentage yet today.
It is, and even with the queen not even going for that jump spell, he secured the 2 stars and the over 80%, you said it. But on the other side, the tank, first attack, over 90% for them. They're still alive, they're still kicking, and they want to win this first war.
What's incredible is that Stadra's hit just now with 82% is the lowest percentage that GS has had so far. That's incredible. 82% being the lowest. I mean, that's elite play right there. And if only they could pull off another a triple here, that would secure it. But Vatang, they need to respond. And, you know, they're the ones on the chopping block right now.
And Cinebro for Vatang, also a 3-star earlier from Cinebro, so you know he's got it in him. He's got Hog Riders, he's got minions, there's your healers, a Goblin, a Giant, a little bit of everything right here. So we'll watch for that as the Queen charge begins right by the Town Hall, really close here. Gonna close in on that Town Hall early before the Lalo portion.
Those really short Queen walks are stressful, because if that funnel is not just perfect, then you're going the opposite direction to where you want to. And that's hard to come back from. Right now, the Queen's got to deal with that enemy clan castle, and then you're hoping that she will go the intended direction and allow this Lalo, which again, we're seeing a lot of Lalo. We're not seeing near as much P.E.K.K.A. Smash as we were earlier. We got a lot of Hog attacks right now. It's so good to see these elite attackers and watching and seeing how their minds work as they watch and check out these bases.
Well, that's the thing, Klaus. We can learn from these elite attackers as to what is effective, what's the way to go, and we've seen a lot of this. It can be risky, like Itsu often points out with Lalo. Sometimes you're going to be having a hard time getting that Town Hall, but Cinebro using the Queen charge to get in, take that Town Hall down early. So now the Lalo doesn't have to deal with the star for the Town Hall, but also remember, it's a massive weapon.
And it's really difficult for a bunch of balloon spill to take out. So good free spell, gets the Queen, but unfortunately misses that the sweeper right there. And then the Queen hits the tornado trap too. Man, that Queen is just getting the brunt of everything right now. She's trying her very best to continue working through this base, taking out key defenses and structures, but man, she's getting destroyed right now.
She is working her way on that far side, and the Loons coming in from the top right, trying to get to that Eagle, get it out of the way. With 1:15 remaining, they're closing in, and again, the sweeper causing problems there, Klaus, pushing everybody away from the Eagle repeatedly.
Fortunately, there's a couple balloons that are being, you know, spared the terribleness of the sweepers. A good Warden's ability there soaks up an air mine, but yes, that sweeper is being a total pain. I wish that Queen had survived there, because if she had broke through that wall, then I would be really convinced that this is going to be the triple, but right now I'm just not sure.
Yeah, the healers are still up and the balloons are moving in. There's no splash defenses left though, Klaus, and there's 45 seconds. They're closing in right here on the Expo, on the air defense. There's another Expo at the top of the screen. They're going to close in first on this sweeper, and that could be the last of the defenses. At the bottom left, you've got a cannon. Where do they go next? Do they head towards the top? You've got 30 seconds remaining, 90%. No, they're coming back towards the cannon. That's going to be a long ride back up to the Expo. Lots of cleanup units in behind as well. You've got 20 seconds remaining. They've got to get there and then turn around. The minions at the bottom of the screen going to get that camp out of the way. Here go the balloons. They're headed up there. Cinebro looks like he could have it. 12 seconds. This is unbelievably close. 9 seconons. They're closing in. The Expo is firing and the balloons are not going to get there. Time
it's a 3-star for Vatang! Wow!
I missed the Warden.
The Warden gets it. It was already a damaged Expo. I couldn't keep it in. I'm sorry to interrupt, but oh my goodness. That Expo goes down, and that puts a exclamation point on Vatang's war right now and turned the tide. Turned that, what Galadon continues to say, the momentum has shifted.
Well, this was their last attack of the war. Cinebro dropping the triple right there. That was absolutely crazy at the last second with just a couple of seconds on the clock. And that was what we've been waiting for all war, Klaus, for a plan to put up a 3-star. But it's been the true tale of amazing offense and even better defense, stopping every attempt at a triple until right here.
Wow, so this is the moment that we have all been waiting for. The final attack of this war. But this isn't it. No matter what happens, we've got at least one more war in this best 2 out of 3 final match of this playoff. So do not go anywhere. I can't imagine anyone wanting to go anywhere right now, because Aaron CPB, who is very capable, has gotten a 3-star in the past, so he can do it again. He gets a 3-star, and this war comes back down to total destruction. But right now, Vatang has a major advantage moving on.
Yes, Aaron CPB moving in, looking calm. CPB could stand for certainly possesses bravado, as these guys have shown confidence throughout this weekend. The GS players from Japan, some of the best in the country, some of the best in the world, and now the Archer Queen moving away from that Town Hall though, Klaus.
Wow, so that Queen and King, their obvious goal was to get that Town Hall down. Unfortunately, they do not now. So Aaron CPB is going to be rolling in with his Lalo. This is all or nothing, though. He's not going to, adjust his plan just to get the Town Hall. He's going to keep going with this 3-star strategy so that he's able to potentially snag that 3-star for his clan, but it doesn't appear that things are going right, and that's how Clash of Clans is right now. If everything doesn't go perfect, you're going to struggle majorly to triple.
Yeah, there's almost no room for mistakes unless you have a pro plan, and here's the pro plan from Aaron CPB, moving the Lava Hound and Loonseer from the bottom this time to make sure that they get in. Great free spell, catches the Sweeper and the Town Hall. Now the Balloons have a couple other defenses to get to before they get to that Town Hall. You're going to need the Warden's ability right here. There it is. The Balloons trying to get through. The Dragon chasing him down, finally gets the Town Hall for the 1st star.
And that 1st star was very clutch. A couple more percentage points, and here we go with that 2-star. Just a moment. Great freeze covering that Eagle Artillery in the core, but notice there's hardly any balloons left, and there's a lot of base left as well.
It really is, as Aaron CPB doing his best to grab as much percentage as he can. The defensive Clan Castle Dragon is a big problem. That splash damage in the air, it's going to get out there and hunt down and wipe out a bunch of these lava pups. But again, as time is counting down, no chance at the 3-star. So it certainly looks like that's going to ice the victory for Vatang. An incredible, as Klaus says, clutch 3-star from Vatang's last attack is going to give them that 11-star score total. And that's the first, but only best 2 out of 3. So Vatang is going to have to repeat if they want to advance to the finals later on this year.
Never say die. Aaron is letting this attack pan out, knowing he did not win the war for his clan, but he didn't care. He was going to let it pan out anyway to see who wins or see who gets the higher percentage. That's a 68% for him.
Vatang taking match number 1, or not say match number 1, it's war number 1 in our best of 3, and I'm absolutely sure, and I admit I did the same. I thought GS had this looking at their total destruction, but it is Vatang coming back with a 3-star and making it theirs.
They certainly had the lead, and going into the last attack for Vatang of the war, it looked like we weren't going to see a 3-star.
And that was disappointing. I have done in the clutch moments. They don't have the higher defensive statistics, but ultimately that only will come into the picture if there's no 3-stars.
Well, GS is going to lead off. So again, this is going to be Watto, who had an 89% 2-star, one of the highest percentages in that last war versus Vatang. And now check out these bases. We're going to see bases. This almost looks like a return to a more traditional trophy-style base with that Town Hall close to the dead center of the layout.
I mean, you don't want to give up that Town Hall too easily, right? So, I mean, I'm seeing that potentially being a meta shift, probably not, but we'll see. I mean, we've seen in the past players bringing out just unusual base designs simply to confound and confuse the attacker. There's only 1 or 2 of those weird bases in the war, and right now, this may be one of them.
Well, let's watch for these witches on the outside. Watto trying to make sure that this funnel works. Archer Queen, her healers getting wiped out by an air defense right there. She's gone all the way down towards the bottom of the base and in as a jump spell because they only got an opening through 1 wall. Everybody headed in over the jump after the core, and that's going to ensure that you've got the Town Hall down for that 1st star.
Devastating to see that Queen go the wrong direction. That is never a good thing, but the best players can keep their head level and ready to go and try to do the very best with what they've got, and that's what Watto is doing right now. He's got all of his troops into the core. He's got that Town Hall down. There's the 2-star, nice and secured. And as the pressure increases, as we move along in this night to figure out who's going to move on, we might be seeing added stress, and maybe that's why we're seeing just a whole bunch of 2-stars.
It's certainly possible. You're right. I mean, there's no more pressure than the final match that determines them coming back to play in the World Championship Finals. And now the P.E.K.K.A.s have worked their way back to the outside of the base. So 63% right now. Watto from GS Vatang happy with the way this base has performed. This is not going to be an extremely high percentage, and now you've got those lava pups that are trying to take down the P.E.K.K.A.s. I heard one go down there, and you've got a lot of point defenses working on the remaining. Is that one or two?
It appears to be one left, yes, unless I'm wrong, but you know, that could be the case. It looks like the P.E.K.K.A. will accumulate a little bit more percentage. We get to 68, maybe 69% before that final minion goes down and Watto opens it up with the magic number.
69% 2-star for Watto. Starting out for GS, Vatang is going to answer. And I have to say, out of all of the attacks in the previous face-off here between Vatang and GS, 69% would have been the lowest percentage of the day.
Incredible. So starting off this attack, this entire thing with what I would say would be a mediocre 2-star. I mean, and that's crazy to say because, again, 69%, that's not a terrible number, you know? But from what we've seen today, the average total destruction, again, over 75%. So it really is quite amazing to see these guys in action. And again, as we've continued to say, and I don't want anybody at home to forget, these are the best players and the best clans in the world, and it is such a privilege to see them in action.
It really is. It's an honor to be here to help cast this and to watch these amazing attacks, watch the meta change before our eyes, as now we've got, again, Mass Hog Rider, so the heroes are going to come in, just kind of create that funnel, and no healers for the Archer Queen, going to get the job done as best she can with just her ability. She's all by herself up there, the 1 o'clock position of the base, and here come the Hog Riders, immediately triggering her giant bomb, and 16 have not yet been deployed, so watch for those to be deployed and join this main pack as they work their way through the base.
The PSH has 3-starred twice with this strategy, so this may just be his best strategy, maybe the one he's most comfortable with, and he saw a base that appeared to be a little bit vulnerable. Now, I'm a bit worried about the pathing here, but then I just realized, hey, we still have a Stone Slammer. That Stone Slammer may very well trigger or grab that Town Hall for PSH, and all of these defenses are going to be dropping due to the Hogs. This is looking very nice for him right now in this attack.
Yep, there's no spells left though. The Hogs have yet to face the Teslas. Here come the final 3 Hog Riders from the bottom left. At the top of your screen, the Stone Slammer is going to get in there, take that Town Hall down. 70% damage. The Teslas are still up. GS sounds happy right now because there's a lot of defenses down the bottom left and not a lot of Hog Riders to deal any damage.
Wow, so there goes that Town Hall. That was too close for comfort, took too long for my taste, but it looks like because PSH ran into that Tesla farm at the very end when his Hogs were just limping along, barely able to get it, they weren't able to power through that Tesla farm. It's a very high percent 2-star, but I just don't think there's enough left in the gas tank for this one.
Yep, imagine if you swap out a few of those Hog Riders for some healers. Does it make the difference? Does it keep the Queen up and that walk works and she finishes off the base? Right now, you've just got the skeletons in there. They wiped out the rest of the core. There was indeed plenty of time. Had the Archer Queen had help, she would definitely have grabbed a 3-star right here, Klaus. Instead, PSH from Vatang has to settle for a 91% 2-star.
Which is a rather high percent 2-star indeed, and definitely what we want to continue seeing out of them, especially an all-star like PSH.
Vatang riding the way from the first win here in the first war of a best of 3, 91% and 69 of GS. That might be the upper hand for the first attack. Well, there are many more to come.
Exactly. We've only seen one attack from either side so far, and now looking to shake things up is Earth from GS, one of my personal favorite players. We've seen him before in Poland. He is a 3-star master. 2 3-stars so far leading up to this war right now. So he's certainly shown he can do it even against some of the best bases in the world. So we're looking for Earth to try to make the difference right here. They need an early 3-star to shift the momentum back into their favor and hope to tie things up 1-1. Remember, this is best of 3.
Earth, one of the few players in the world that can say that he's been here more than one time. So you can tell he's starting to play around. He's starting to flirt with the camera a little bit. He's getting comfortable, and that's good because then he'll be able to execute his attacks at the highest level that he's able to and secure potentially a 3-star here for GS.
Certainly, and we're back to P.E.K.K.A. Smash, so watch for the Queen and the healers to trigger that Goblins out of the clan castle again. Look at this mass here. Goblins, archers, and a dragon, but that is a beautiful poison spell that immediately puts an end to almost every single CC defense.
That's right. One of the best things you can do is catch a clan castle with a queen walk, especially if you have a poison spell to make it happen. So it is looking good right now for that queen walk. Earth actually about to snag that 1 star from that Town Hall, and then will lead into that jump spell, which the funnel has been very nicely made by a P.E.K.K.A, and then of course that King on the left-hand side as well.
That was beautiful to watch. The Queen almost like following orders. She takes the Town Hall down and then moves in to rejoin everybody headed into the core. That was perfectly planned by Earth as they all move in, and again, those healers going to help keep those bowlers up as we head towards, ooh, nice use of the Warden's ability there. That prevented that Eagle strike, and then they took the Eagle out, no longer a factor.
Wow, so they just melt through these max walls. Like we've said, a bunch of P.E.K.K.A.s and some bowlers under Rage spell, and then get through the walls very, very fast. And he was able to use the knowledge of knowing that that enemy Queen was there to predict where his troops were going to go. So that is really nice for him. The funnel looks like it's going to work. The pathing is working out right here. We're hearing some celebrations over there from GS for their attacker Earth.
The Inferno Tower down, the bowlers at the bottom, and there's not a lot left. More applause from GS as the Slammer is still up, and there's not a lot of defenses left, Klaus. Nothing to stop it right here. The healers are up. Tons of units remain.
With 52 seconds to go and 2 defenses, it looks like Earth is going to be able to throw down a 3-star for his clan. I don't see this going any other way. Do you, Gally?
Plenty of time left. He's got a swag haste spell when he drops on the clan castle. Insult to injury. Earth for GS, another 3-star. Incredible performance right here. And now advantage GS in this second war. Definitely looking to tie things up. And like we said, to drop the 3-star early makes a huge difference.
GS has now put the pressure on Vatang. They have the 3-star. That is Earth's 3rd 3-star of this weekend. And as we said earlier, if this goes to another war, Earth could potentially be a record breaker with a 4th 3-star. So he is about to be entering into the record books if GS has it their way and wins this one.
It's entirely possible, and you know that is their plan. But Vatang's plan, the exact opposite. They want this to end right here, right now. They're ahead 1-0 in this best-of-3 match. To win this war means they advance to the finals later on this year. Young Hun from Vatang, a 79% 2-star in the first war against GS, and he's coming again with, it looks like, Electron Lalo.
Wow, look at the Expos surrounding that Eagle Artillery. All 3 are set to ground. And I heard about this. I heard that some clans were setting up ground Expos, and it seems like it opens it up for players to be able to use La Lune or any other kind of air attack. So really it doesn't surprise me to see Young Hun attacking this base right now with a La Lune attack.
Yep, so P.E.K.K.A Smash being so common right now, so that's part of the reason that you see more and more ground set Expos. And sure enough, Young Hun from Vatang switching things up, able to combat that with the Lalo attack. And again, watch for Electron, one of my favorite attacks to watch. And wow, those GS guys getting excited right now. As you can see, the Archer Queen has moved away from that Inferno Tower, all the way on the outside, all by herself, needs to use the ability. She's not going to get much further, Klaus.
You would want to describe that as stubborn. Queen not taking that break and leaving that multi-inferno completely untouched. The Stone Slammer now being deployed though, so it's going to work on a few of these defenses. It clips up to take out that inferno, and here is the clone spell. They actually clones the Electro Dragon, which under Rage spell, this could be highly valuable right now, potentially, and with a great freeze, taking out the enemy Queen, and then hopefully we'll also get that Eagle Artillery down, and there it goes. Wow, that is a ton of value for an Electron. I mean, look at what's left on this base right now. 2 Lava Hounds, 36 balloons, and still an an Earthquake spell just in case that Town Hall doesn't pop.
And that's what we see almost every single time. The goal of an Electron to get into the core and get an Eagle Artillery down. That's exactly what happened. 1/3 of this base down, and now in comes the Lalo portion. But watch out for the very dangerous Dragon. It's hovering over the Town Hall right now, and it is going to go to work on those balloons. Splash damage, great freeze spell though, and the Earthquake. So the freeze, that stops the Dragon. The Earthquake wakes up the Town Hall. There goes the Town Hall, and the Warden ability, perfectly timed, keeps all those balloons up, and they could go on and continue to wipe out this base.
Wow, so with 50 seconds left and 10 balloons still up, this is looking like a close one, to say the least. I mean, with that sweeper in the core really throwing things off. You know, without that sweeper, this attack would have looked very, very differently, I think. But it's still looking very overwhelming.
Super solid right here, Klaus. 30 seconds left. No defenses left. The balloons are out after storages, after other buildings. This is going to be the end right here. 20 seconds, though. 2 balloons left to drop. Here they come. They're on the skeletons. There's more buildings on the right-hand side. 15 seconds. It's going to be awfully close, Klaus.
12 seconds left in the attack, and Balloon portioned out all over this base. That defending dragon is causing some problems, though, and that hound does pop. The pups are actually out, but unfortunately, there is only no time left. That's going to be a 98% 2-star for Young Hun. They wanted to respond to the 3-star with a 3-star of their own, and they fall just short of 2 buildings.
What an attempt by Young Hun, just incredible 98%, but that earthquake really shattered the Vatang lineup, it seems. On the other side, GS, 3-star that early in the second war. Oh, I see this third war coming already.
Yeah, well, hopefully Vatang does not want that to happen. It's incredible the amount of percentage they've put up with a 91 and a 98 so far. They lead vastly by percentage despite the fact that GS has dropped the 3-star, but percentage doesn't matter right now. The stars are all that count.
You have to believe that Earth, who pulled out the 3-star a minute ago, is still feeling really good about himself. And now that he's done his attack, he can kind of kick back and help his clanmates get it done right now. So here we see Stadra starting off this attack with yet another Lalo. We've seen many 3-stars now with Lalo today, and it's good to see this attack really making a surge after all the P.E.K.K.A. smash and stuff that we've been seeing.
Yep, so the Archer Queen facing off with a defensive Barbarian King. She's got a couple of Teslas to get to as well. There she's working on that Town Hall. There's a jump spell. It's obviously not for the Town Hall. Check out the Barb King far top right. He doesn't have his P.E.K.K.A. skin yet there, Klaus.
No, he's decided to go in completely default. That's fine. Right now we're seeing the King creating a very nice funnel up here on the right-hand side. The Baby Dragon got a lot of value on the left-hand side too. I see Renee smile right now. He's liking that. But with that Queen Walk over there on the right and that funnel established too, I think she has nowhere to go but inside toward that clan castle.
And that's going to be important because a dragon comes out. There's the rage spell perfectly placed, enrages the queen. She increases her damage and enrages the healers. They increase their healing. And the poison also well placed, going to get that witch out of the way. And now the queen can move on in towards the core of the base.
Man, that queen really getting some work done. And see that witch in that clan castle. We haven't seen a lot of that, but as you can see, it wasn't all that effective. A witch in the CC is going to defend well against troops that maybe can only attack rather slowly. Electro Dragons or, the standard dragons, they're a little slower. But against the Queen Walk, especially under rage and a poison spell, that witch had no chance.
Yep, and in comes the Archer Queen after that Eagle Artillery, so that means the Lalo portion begins. Stadra really wants the Queen to get the Eagle down. There it is! The Eagle didn't get another set of shots off. Perfect timing, if you ask me right there, as the Lalo portion begins, and none of those air troops had to suffer any rounds from the Eagle Artillery.
Ouch, though. Ouch. To see the Queen go down so early into an attack, these balloons have no more support. There's no spells at all. So what is going to happen? There's too much base left. The balloons moving about as slowly as you would expect them to. There is a freeze spell. That'll help a bit, but nothing to speed them up, though.
Yeah, you really want a haste spell at this point, especially when you've got loons approaching things like multi-target Infernos and Wizard Towers. Look at all those minions working on that Expo. They get stopped almost immediately, and this attack is being stopped. Stadra wrapping up above 85%, though. He's going to close in on 90 once again. These guys have really turned it up for this last war, Klaus, or what might be the second to last war.
Exactly. If they're able to win it, this is the second to last war, and splitting the difference 1-1. Stadra putting his hand over his face. He's not happy with the results at all, but with an 89% 2-star, that really helps his clan if, for whatever, or somehow, and it's definitely possible, that Vatang actually pulls off a 3-star too, then that total destruction comes back into play.
Well, remember, we have not seen Cinnabro attack yet for Vatang, and he was the one that tripled a GS base just a little bit ago. Just a few minutes ago, he was putting down the 3-star, so no doubt he's got the confidence. He knows that he can triple these GS bases, and he's going to pick another one shortly. But right now, it's going to be Kadran from Vatang, who also has dropped 2 triples this weekend.
And he had the clutch attack that got his clan into the finals to begin with. So he's leading with his attacking capabilities, and he's hoping that he's able to pull it off again here. And check it out, 47 Hog Riders!
Mass Hog Rider right here from Kadran of Vatang. One of the really interesting things I heard from him, if you listen to the interview that we heard a little bit earlier, he practices by pretending that a friendly is an actual war attack. And then when he goes in for an actual attack like this, he's visualizing it as a friendly attack. And what that does, it's a little bit of psychological training that helps reduce the nerves. And that may be an absolute brilliant move. We'll see, as Kadron has had no problem keeping his cool with 2 triples this weekend and an 83% 2-star in his last attack against GS.
Talk about strong-minded if you're able to convince yourself that this isn't a big deal. I mean, seriously, this is amazing to see what's on the line right now. And look at this beautiful Queen getting the work done right now. She managed to take out the entire clan castle. That was amazing.
She's got like 1 hit point left. She got that last puck down, and again, that was critical because it's mass Hog Rider. They're going to be working their way in here, and look at them coming in from at least 5 different positions on this base, Klaus.
I mean, the spread of the Hogs are amazing right now, but you want to make sure you stay together, and that's the whole point. He's making sure that his Hog Riders are going to be coming together, collapsing down onto that Eagle artillery, and right now, fortunately for him, that Queen's in a large compartment, so those skeletons may actually be able to take her out.
Yep, the Hog Riders moving in after that second Inferno Tower and in the core with the defending Archer Queen. She is a brutal problem for them. There's the Warden's ability. The Skeleton's trying to work. The Queen is going to go down, and the Warden's ability was still active.
Wow, so that Warden's ability coming in the clutch there, covering a few of the skeletons. The Queen was distracted on the one that was invincible, and then bam, they were able to take her down. So Hog Riders seem to be, and I don't want to predict too hard, but the next meta, I mean, look at how powerful they have been today.
Yes, Mass Hog Rider. Watch the Stone Slammer working, and of course, more Hog Riders in there behind that Town Hall. Hog Riders moving in, closing in on the cannon as well. Here comes a Baby Dragon. Town Hall just barely goes down, and that is going to be it for defenses. The Archer Tower is the last one. The Hogs are going to spread out, but we only have 50 seconds left, 20% remaining. This is going to be a race against the clock right here. As those Hog Riders are spreading out. You want to see them split up now where you wanted them together earlier, Klaus.
Absolutely, and right now it is a race against the clock. We got a Lucky Wizard on the top, taking out the wings of the exterior buildings and taking out as much as possible. Meanwhile, we have an entire parade of Hogs and Skeletons working together.
Are friendly Skeletons, Hogs and Skeletons living in harmony. Last 3 buildings going down. Kadron from Vatang grabbing the 3-star.
And that's a triple for Vatang and tying it up once again.
3rd attack for Vatang. Once again, a 3-star. Look at that build-up. 91%, 98%, 100%. That's exactly how we come back into such a war.
Mass Hog Riders. I had Itsu coaching me on Mass Hog Riders earlier this weekend. It is incredibly strong. So many Hogs out on the field. Don't need the Queen. They wiped everything out on their own. And incredible Kadron with his 3rd 3-star.
Amazing. So we saw a clutch 3-star from GS early in this war. And then Kadron again with a very clutch 3-star for Vatang to tie it up. Total destruction is king at this current moment, and Vatang has quite the advantage on that front right now. Actually, you can see the math, 6.2%.
That's huge, Klaus. That really is. And like Renee pointed out, 91, 98, 100 versus 69, 89, 100. Even though the stars are tied, it's a huge lead for Vatang right now.
And you gotta love it, but right now, Aaron CPB attacking for GS, the 4th out of 5 attackers. You know he's ready to roll. He wants that 3-star to put his clan back ahead. He was feeling comfortable, but you can't do that. You can't feel comfortable in these final rounds. You got to stay on top of your game the entire time, and he's keeping his focus, as you can see from his face cam down below.
Yes, and Cinebro using the ever-familiar headless giant base. If you look at it, it kind of looks like a head, and the top right is missing, and then you see the arms and the legs. Okay, no, I've never seen this base before, but I'm naming it the headless giant as Cinebro from Vatang. These players have some of the most incredible base building skills. It's going to be unusual, and Aaron CPB is one that has to try to decode it as he's working his Archer Queen in. Looks like some wall breakers got that wall open, Klaus.
Amazing wall breaker action from both of these clans. I mean, you can't ask for a more precise deployment to make these work. They're including the spells. They're including just simple timing, and of course you got to put in your tester wall breaker to make sure that there's no bombs in the way. Right now, that Queen starts to tack onto a wall. She's getting hammered right now, no ability, so she's going to go down. But remember, that Lalo portion of the attack can still get a lot done. That includes that Town Hall down on the bottom left-hand side.
So 29% damage, and notice now the Clan Castle troops are moving up towards that lone archer at the very top of your screen, as in from behind, the unwitting Clan Castle troops have wandered off except for a few archers. Come the Lava Hounds and the balloons right at that town hall. But again, you've got the Sweeper, the Eagle, and the Queen to deal with right here, Klaus. Could be a problem.
Wow, the small details. He deploys a section of balloons. He gets a baby dragon in there to take care of an external wizard tower, and then more balloons. You gotta imagine how fast these guys' fingers are flying across their tablets or their phones as they're deploying all of these. And we take it for granted. They know exactly which tile and how many they want to deploy. And right now, he's showing it. Those balloons are charging in and destroying that Eagle artillery.
Yeah, they're running through this base. The skeleton spells help to take out that defensive Archer Queen. A beautiful timing on the Ward's ability. A great free spell right there. Stops the Wizard Tower, and that's going to be the last splash defense as these balloons move through for Aaron CPB. Spreading out towards the other defenses, but only 35 seconds left. So it certainly looks like an overkill triple, and damage may come down to time as we're under 30 seconds. 2 more minions left to deploy. 78% damage in all sorts of buildings, far left, far right. The Lava Hound pops. That could be a big problem as now you've got Lava Hounds, or pups, spreading out on defense. 16, 15 seconds left. The balloon so slow. Units trying to clear every single structure, but it looks like it might not happen. Final 10 seconds. 8-7, far left-hand side. Can you imagine a builder hut could stop this 3-star? 96%, and they're the last structures still up. An incredible 97 for Aaron. He is disappointed.
Wow, that was just a roller coaster ride. I felt this is gonna be a 3-star. There's no chance it isn't. And then, oh no, something's gone wrong. Wait, he's got time, he's got plenty of cleanup. And then that Lava Hound, that defending Clan Castle Lava Hound, popping, and all those lava pups going around distracting everything. That was the section of the base that ended up holding up and unfortunately causing Aaron CPB the 3-star and leaving Vatang in the lead right now.
That is a great observation, Klaus. The fact that the Lava Hound popped probably almost certainly stopped that 3-star, because it was that region where the pups were that the buildings still stood. And how often is it that an attack wraps up and what you have left is tiny little builder huts? Usually have massive storages with all those hit points. Instead, you have these little tiny builder huts. Every building matters.
Incredible. And you know, the placement of all those buildings was on purpose too. They had the spacing out just right to prevent some easy, you know, chain lightning or Valkyrie getting in there and wiping them all out at once. And it came down to, again, that defending Lava Hounds and the Lava Pups right out. That is just a crazy defensive strategy, and something that I hope a lot of people are going to be emulating moving forward after watching the stream and seeing the best of the best collide here today.
These absolutely are the best of the best, qualifying through play.eslgaming.com or through the in-game clan war leagues. 8 incredible clans, and now we're down to 2. It's a best of 3 match, and Vatang is ahead 1-0. But right now, each clan having put up a 3-star so far gives Vatang the advantage by percentage. And again, we're watching another mass Hog Rider attack, Klaus.
And the Hogs are really coming in the clutch. But right now, I'm also noticing a Dragon that under Poison Spell. That's great, but you know, his hit points might not all run out. So this might come down to a very unfortunate Dragon. Come on, go down. He's
unbelievable. Oh. It's still there with an invisible health bar. There's nothing left. And the Warden looks like he was no help right there. The Dragon is going to survive.
Wow, so that attack looked so good at the very beginning, and now with that Dragon having literally no hit points at all. And then the Stone Slammer hitting the Tornado Trap as well. This is not looking good for Vatang right now. Lanzalota trying his very best to take out this Town Hall. And of course, that Dragon is going to be a problem.
Got a heal spell, 3 Hogs, 2 Wizards remain. That down goes the Stone Slammer. What's inside? There it is.
He gets the 2-star.
Riders barely do it. 54% damage. And we're seeing Valkyries from the defensive Clan Castle, Klaus. I think we have seen a greater variety of troops in defensive CCs today than we've ever seen in any of these qualifiers.
Absolutely a record breaker if that is the statistic we're counting, because this has been I'm getting whiplash right now. I mean, you're seeing hounds like crazy, dragons, we're getting ice golems. I mean, it's just insane, the variety, and it's really throwing off these attackers. Lanzalota ending up with 59% 2-star.
Lowest percentage they scored in this entire final, but still they have the lead on the stars, but there's another hitter coming for GS, and nothing is decided. It seems like once again we go down to the last attacks. Find out if we see the first team going through with just 2 single wars in our final.
The final attacker, Takana from GS. He has had a 3-star in the previous rounds. He also today has had a 99 and a 93% 2-star. If there's anybody on the clan, GS, that's going to be able to pull off a triple, put his clan ahead, it's going to be him.
Yes, and earlier 93% specifically against Vatang. So we'll see right here as he's looking to try to grab that advantage for GS, and he's doing it with Queen Charge Miner, my personal favorite attack.
Right now, actually, GS has that total destruction advantage, 1.4% advantage to be exact. So this is extremely close. And with 1 attack remaining for each of these teams, this can really come down to the last moment, as every single one of these wars today has. If GS takes the win, then it's tied up 1-1, and we go into an overtime tiebreaker war. If Vatang takes the victory, then they sweep it for the very first time in World Championship qualifier history.
Indeed, we haven't seen a sweep before, but right now Takana from GS trying to make sure we don't. That wall wrecker trying to move in closer to the Town Hall, closer to the core for that Queen Charge, and get ready for those miners. Again, we'll look for them around a minute 45 or sooner. The Barb King is probably going to come in about that same time and help distract. Here he is at the bottom of the screen about 8 o'clock, 8:30, just below that left-hand side. He's going to take out the defending Barbarian King. And yes, sure enough, in come the miners. Notice the ground targeting defenses are all focused on the King while the miners move in from behind.
You better believe that that Queen dying early is going to be a big problem for Takana. Yeah, that was not a good thing at all. And then the defending Clan Castle pups still staying up. Fortunately, he had a minion, so he's able to take those pups out. But now the miners, they have 1 more heal spell and a rage, and about 60% left on this base. So he's going to get the 2-star. I think that's a safe bet. But right now they need that total destruction or a triple. One of them seems out of reach.
Well, he only has 1 heal spell remaining. Klaus Takana working his way. The Eagle Artillery just now goes down. The balloon, or the miners working towards the bottom. Still 2 Inferno Towers burning away. The Ice Golems are pretty much useless up at the top of the base. Unfortunately, the miners are gone. 54%, Klaus. This attack is just about over right here. Nothing left on the map that's going to do much damage. The Warden is all alone trying to get that Archer Tower down, and he is just barely going to get it down. That marks 56%. That is a massive disappointment for GS.
You better believe it. I mean, with 90+% for every attack Takana's put up today, ending up with a 56%. Again, that Queen dying early was the killer of this attack. I mean, the miners did a good job getting through, but unfortunately, this base design potentially just completely threw off everything. And now Vatang has a really good chance of taking this win, either with a 3-star or with a really solid percentage 2-star. And none other than the man himself, Cinebro, is going to be pulling off this attack.
He is already 3-starred at GS base. He is 3-starred earlier this weekend, but it looks like, going by the numbers, 64 is the magic number right now. He needs to pull out a 64% 2-star in order to ensure that Vatang has the victory. So, yep, Klaus confirming it right here. So 63 is the tie, 64 is the win. That's not a huge number for a pro player here like Cinebro, so he's going to try to remain calm and check out this army composition. A couple of E-Dragons, Electron, and Lalo.
I want to remind everyone at home that these wars have been absolutely close from the entire live stream. And we've had those crazy situations where what we expect to happen, it doesn't happen. So we can't call it until the very last moment. Once it's numerically impossible for Vatang to lose, that is when we're going to call it, even though 64% is perhaps one of the lowest percentages that we have needed this entire time.
Well, again, the GS clan putting together incredibly well-performing bases. We'll see what happens right here as the Electron is going to be in combination with these other Electro Dragons. So they move in. There's your clone spell, and they're going to wipe out a huge portion of this base. The question is, Klaus, do they get to the Eagle Artillery? They're working on it. They're close, but they're not quite there. Rage spell should help them, and they have a lot of health left. But now they move off to the right towards the gold storage. Here they go. There's the Eagle Artillery, and it is indeed going to get wiped out. And oh man, the chain lightning through so many different buildings right there. That is exactly what Cinebro and Vatang wanted. You can hear them celebrating. This is going exactly to plan right now, Klaus.
That is the power of the Chain Lightning. You get a couple of Electro Dragons under a rage spell, and bada bang, bada boom, they do amazing things. What looks like magic to a Clash of Clans player.
2 stars, 50%. We've got 14% to go. 56, 58. Closing in on the victory is Vatang. 60%. Here it comes. 63. And the magic number, they've got it. Cinnabro clinches it for Vatang. They are going to advance. And this attack is not over. Wiping it out. They have clinched it. They are excited. They know they are going to the World Championship Finals later on this year. Vatang incredibly for the first 2-0 final.
And they still have a freeze spell in the docket here, so if he can actually freeze just right, these balloons may be able to go through this entire base here.
Look at that absolutely epic freeze right there on the air defense, on the Wizard Tower, on the multi-target Inferno. That is skill, that is pro skills right there. These guys, this is incredible. They needed 64, they're gonna pull out a triple it looks like here, Klaus. 36 seconds left. What an exclamation point. They are sending warning signals as the balloons go down, but you've got 30 seconds left. Lots of cleanup remain, Klaus. Here come the minions. Here comes the Lava Puppet and the Warden. 23 seconds left. Cinnabro saying, hey, Tribe Gaming, hey, Team Queso, watch out because South Korea is on their way, and they are a true triple threat.
It happened, the first team to go 2-0 in the series, getting their golden tickets to the Clash of Clans World Championship. It's Vatang taking down GS in just an impressive fashion live here on stage.
Unbelievable, Klaus.
Amazing. I mean, to not only win with what only was needed is 64%, but also to get a 3-star, to, like you said, send that message to the other qualifiers for the World Championship, grabbing the 3-star.